Yo, still Bills, Mr. Dizzle, man. I'm back after a motherfucking weekend in my yayo, man. Ah, man, a lot to fucking talk about, man. A lot to fucking talk about. I enjoyed my motherfucking self. That was my first trip to Miami. We went to Orlando, went to Tampa. That's a trip we gonna be making most definitely once again, man. But while I was gone, Charlo and Castano got it on for undisputed, and it ended in a draw. And we got to talk about that because that's a hot topic, man. I didn't get to watch the fight. I had to watch it from my phone, so the view and the angle and everything on it was musty as a motherfucker. So I didn't get the bet. It's not like the view that we got on Showtime. So I'm most definitely gonna watch it when it comes up on Showtime again. However, for what I saw, there's just I'm literally arguing with people who are going out of their way to give Jermell Charlo that match. There's just no fucking way you could possibly give him that match. I think it's equivalent to arguing that Lomachenko beat Teofimo. There's just no way you could give Lomachenko a draw, because I mean Lomachenko won a string of rounds. And Charlo was a dude that I had picked to win. I didn't see Charlo get active until the later rounds after the second. I mean, I know it's the thing is, I've heard people say, "Oh, look at Castano's face and this and that and the third." I'm like, Charlo hits way harder than Castano, so it's not like Castano had to go through an acute, that was, that those lumps and bruises and bumps and whelps on his face. It's not like he had to go through a gauntlet of an accumulation of punishment to get that. Jermell Charlo possibly has light heavyweight power, or not light heavyweight, but a super middleweight power. That motherfucker can punch. He can punch. So it's not like he had to go through the ringer in order to get all them to get all that shit on his face, for him to look busted up like that. He didn't have to go through that. He just simply had to get hit by him a couple of times, and that's what you got. Castano isn't a power puncher. He's a volume puncher. He has respectable power, which we ended up seeing, but he isn't a one-punch knockout artist. That's not what he's about. He's a volume puncher. He's a workhorse in there, man. And a lot of people are really trying to go with that narrative that he looked beat up. Because he looked beat up, that means Jermell Charlo won the fight. And I'm like, no, it doesn't take that much from Charlo to welt somebody's face up. It just doesn't. And I mean, early on in the fight, we got to call it what it is. A lot of those shots weren't landed. Once again, it looked like Lomachenko and Teofimo. They wasn't necessarily landing like that. They wasn't. But when Charlo would throw something back, he wasn't landing like that either. He'd throw a 1-2 out there. He'd throw a 1-2. He'll halt he'll halt his forward progression by throwing a jab out there and throwing a 2, but not really sitting down on the punch, just throwing it out there just to keep him at bay, just to keep him thinking. A lot of the shots were blocked. Early on. But the thing is, he's getting his 1-2 blocked. Castano was getting his 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth punch may land, or his 1, 2, 3, and the fourth or the fifth punch may sneak through the guard. That was the difference. I don't see how anybody can argue against it, man. He won the second round. He wobbled Castano in that second round. He wobbled him. But then Castano, if the ropes wasn't there, Charlo's on his back. So he came right back and won that. And it's other people as well talking about, oh, he chose to fight like that. I have a problem with that when people say he chose to fight like that. For one, you don't choose to fight in a fight of that magnitude that contradicts who you are as a fighter. So if you're not naturally a counterpuncher, this isn't the time to be experimenting with counterpunching unless you just know. Like he could have did that with possibly a Patrick Teixeira. As tough as Teixeira is, he's not as complete of a, he's tough. He's not as complete of a boxer as Charlo. And I don't think Charlo is, like I've said it before, I think they're beatable. I think they're beatable, but they're good. I still think it's people at 54 who can beat Charlo. But nonetheless, he could have gotten away with that with a Patrick Teixeira. He couldn't get away with that with a Brian Castano. Because he's just not, his reflexes aren't good enough to slip a shot and catch him, make a miss and make him pay. His reflexes aren't like that. He was moving his head to get up out the way. He would actually spin off of the rope, but he'd get back right on the rope. So for you to turn into a counterpuncher in a fight like this with a dude that you don't have the reflexes and the ability to slip a shot and stay poised in the pocket, why would you do that now? I have a problem with people saying, oh, he wanted to do that. I disagree with that. Castano was really making that man think in there. Castano had him gun shy. Otherwise, there's no other excuse as to why he would decide to fight like that. You don't decide to fight like that on a fight of this magnitude when it's not who you are. I'm guaranteeing Derek James didn't train that man. Oh man, we gonna work catch and shoot counters. We gonna work slipping inside of the jab and throwing it to. He's not doing none of that. We're gonna work on weaving the hook, weaving the hook and coming back up and answering with the hook. He's not doing none of that. He's not working on setting traps with that nigga. He wasn't doing none of that. So why would you decide to do it now in a match that's a legacy defining fight? Castano made that man gun shy. He couldn't keep, the speed was clearly bothering him. It was. And when he damn near got dropped that second round or that third round, I guarantee you that put a lot more respect on his name than he was anticipating. Because we know Castano's a workhorse. Punching power isn't what he does. That's not what he's about. That's not who he is. And this dude was mixing up his attack, bro. Like, he was mixing, the jab was there, the body work was there. That's what a lot of people are really missing out on, the body work. He was in that man's liver, banging his body, banging him to the body. And you're talking about a string of rounds. I'm talking like from like 5 and 6 on to like 9 or 10. The first round was a fill-out round. They both came out, they all right, cool, it's a fill-out round, but Castano was more active. He was more active. If both of them are somewhat inactive, all right, cool. None of them are landing effectively. One of them is laying on the rope, playing possum. The other one is being the aggressor. Who else are you going to go for? It's only right that you're going to go for the more active fighter. Charlo is not Canelo off the rope. He's not Roy Jones off the rope. He's not Parnell Whitaker off the rope. He was laying on the rope. Laying there. Why would you do that? And you think he was deserving of that first round? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He would throw a 1 and then a 2, but it wouldn't be like a hard jab and step in behind the jab. You know what I'm saying? Or a pity pat jab and step in with the, take a deep step in and launch the 2. It was none of that. It was just a 1-2 to keep him guessing. Just in case you think you want to come in, hold that. This is what you got to deal with. So I'm saying, man, like, I don't see how you, I'm confused as to how you could give him 7 rounds, 8 rounds, 5 rounds. Honestly, because I'm looking, I had it damn near like 9-3. And the body work was so because he looked gassed late down the stretch. Oh man, he almost stopped him. No, he never stopped him. He never was in a situation where you can say, yo man, he's about to get stopped. I never saw that in that fight. I saw, man, all right, he's starting to come on strong now. But those body shots were prolific. And it slowed him down. So when it was really time to step on the gas, he didn't have the legs that he had early on in the match, because them body shots was tagging him. He'd lay on the, and I'm not even talking about like uppercuts to the body or nothing like that. He's don't, you know, he's catching Jermell Charlo, you know what I'm saying, leaning to his right, and he catching him with a right straight down the middle to the body. He did brilliant work in that fight, and I personally think he got played. He should be undisputed right now. He should be undisputed right now. What I saw from Charlo, you know, oh, damn, are you serious? What I saw from Charlo, I didn't see somebody who was, you know, just, I didn't see a fighter with a high IQ. I didn't see, I saw a fighter who, when it was time for him to exercise that boxing brain of his, he kind of came up short. Because he just, the biggest takeaway was him laying on the rope the whole entire time. You dig? And throwing the 1-2. Like, where's the double jab? Where's the hooks? Why are you not punishing him for, you know what I'm saying, for him going to the body with the uppercut? Why are you not meeting him with the uppercut? I'm not seeing that shit. I'm seeing headhunting. I'm seeing a dude, once again, who's complacent with his one-punch knockout power. That's what I'm talking about. And people, they disregard all of the other, you know, the holes in their game, because just how big a puncher they are. None of that gets addressed, and because of his big punching power, he wobbles him in the round and has a dude on skates. And because of that, he won the fight in a lot of people's eyes. And it's like, what the fuck are y'all niggas, how do y'all judge this shit? Because one round does not dictate an entire 12 rounds. It doesn't. Like, what the fuck is you niggas talking about? Charlo hits hard. If you get in the ring with Charlo, you're more than likely gonna touch the canvas. That nigga can punch. That doesn't mean you lost the fight. Like, no, he got clipped, moved, you know, he got out of range, he moved around the ring, he used the rings, and he got his bearings back under him and went back in on the attack. That wasn't a 10-8 round as well. Like, what the fuck are you niggas looking at? Y'all want a nigga to win so bad, bro, that y'all get delusional. I'm arguing with people that, oh man, activity don't mean nothing. He was busy. He was, you know, that don't mean nothing if you ain't landing. Well, it does mean something if one is inactive and the other one is one is active and the other one is inactive. It does mean something. I'm doing work. I'm going to work. Oh, hell yeah. Parking spot right up front. It means a whole lot. You're inactive, I'm active. You throw a 1-2, I throw, oh no, I'm gonna go to the other side. I throw 3 and 4 punch combinations, and I land, if I land 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3, I'm active. You're not landing. You're throwing the 1 and the 2. There's nothing after that though. There's nothing after that. But I'm giving you the round. Oh, niggas ain't really even land nothing. He landed more than Charlo. Even they're both landing on the glove. They're both landing on the arm. But the fact of the matter is, one of them is trying to look for openings to land. One of them is trying to set up shots for him to land. The other one is just playing possum on the rope, trying to go against his fighting identity and turn and be a counterpuncher. And it was to his detriment. It was to his detriment. So I'm like, man, let's stop playing games, man. He lost that fight. He did. He lost. And credit to Charlo, that's what happens when you step up in competition. Charlo is fighting legitimate competition. So it isn't a knock against him. I'm not trying to berate him or nothing like that. I'm just saying he lost the fight. He lost the fight. But he's also fighting champions after, champion after champion. He's doing what a champion is supposed to do. So you can't be mad at him for that. You can't be mad at him for that. But now it brings us to, you know, the rematch. The rematch. Like, what are we going? I know you ain't gonna let that nigga just do that shit, and you ain't gonna try and get no get back. Like, are you like, I need to talk to Al so you can try and come up with another game plan to better your chances at a victory over him? Because homeboy put you through the ringer, and that's cool if that's what you want, man. That's cool. That's cool. Of course, you ain't gonna come out and say that's what your agenda is, but I understand it. I understand it, because you ain't stood. You ever as much as Tony Harrison gave you hell. He gave you all you can handle. Beat you one match, got complacent in the next match, and you stopped him. All right, cool. You wanted that match, so you wanted that get back. Oh, hell shit. You wanted that get back. You're a little slow on the trigger when it comes to Brian Castano, though. You did. I think, you know, you never gave up hope when you fought Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison has a lot of mental lapses and shit mid-fight. Oh, god damn it. He about to take my spot. Tony Harrison just, I don't know, he just goes to sleep behind the wheel. And, you know, just, you know, he's not, you know, he's a little bit more chinny than Castano. And so, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll get back in there with him. I'm a little bit more comfortable with him. The controversy was there, so you was like, I just genuinely don't like this nigga. So you was a lot more motivated to get in there and fight him. Castano isn't coming off as he's not coming off as that dude that'll get under your skin. That's just not his game. He's real soft-spoken, real humble guy, you dig? All about the sport, not necessarily the, you know, the shit talk. So, you know, it ain't no motivation there. And with him being on that type time, he's also a beast in that ring. So you like, man, I don't know, let me go talk to Uncle Al, let me go talk to Al. So all I'm saying is this, G. You got to get that get back, man. We don't want to hear that. We Lions only. That's what it's about, right? Undisputed is the goal. That is the goal, the ultimate goal. I know you're not gonna vacate them titles and move up. I know you want that undisputed. I know you want that tag to your resume. So go get it. Go get it. You dig? If you push yourself this time, the results could possibly be different. The results could possibly be different, man. If you decided to go in, you know, be who you are, be the aggressor. You're not a back foot fighter. You're not a back foot fighter. You go and you take the fight to him, it could be different results. We never know. But you got to get back in there and run that shit, man. Because that ain't a good look. You talking about we got to talk to Al and shit. Fuck out of here, my nigga. But that's how I'm feeling about it, man. Shout out to Brian Castano. I knew it was gonna be a tough fight. Niggas was talking like, yo, Charlo was just finna walk through this dude. I personally thought Charlo was gonna win the fight. I never predicted a knockout. I'm like, nah, this is gonna be a tough fight. I thought Charlo would do enough to get the nod. And I'm getting on Facebook and I'm getting in my group text with the, you know, my coach and the cats in the gym. I'm like, they like, man, Charlo getting whooped. I'm like, what? So I'm kind of surprised. I'm not as surprised. I'm surprised you looked as pedestrian as you looked, especially early on. I am. I'm really surprised at that. I'm surprised. I'm like, I was flabbergasted when I saw that. But nonetheless, you know, you rallied later on in the fight, but it was a little too late. And you rallied later than Lomachenko rallied. Yikes. So you got to get that back, my nigga, because I think Castano was robbed. Because I didn't have you winning more than 3 or 4 rounds, bro. I didn't. That 117, 111 scorecard, oh my fucking God, that is just so egregious. And it's like, y'all don't, oh, we gonna talk about that too. Yeah, we gonna say that for another video. Well, yeah. I'm about to run into this store in Walmart, man. I get with y'all later, man. Peace.